Okay, you know what? The conversation's been out there before. The New World Order, the Great Reset. What does that mean? What does it really mean? Just think about it for a second. In the 1700s, 1800s, pretty much, there were haves and have-nots. The bulk of the wealth, go look at this history of this country, was all at the top of the pile. Yeah, people could have a bar, or they could be a butcher or this, but they made no money. They just kind of survived and kind of got through life. But yeah, there were other classes, but there were lower classes. And the step up from there was no middle class. So it was one step and then a big step. So what happened after World War II, 1945, the world is over. We start getting into the 50s. What happens? Well, all those GIs are coming back from war. They have a GI Bill. They can get loans. They can go to school. They get educated. They can go to college. And what comes up next? Technology. And then inexpensive mortgages and loans. Geez, you can even start a family and your mortgage might be only $100 a month. And if you work your butt off, maybe work a couple of jobs, whatever, you can prosper. And that started working in the 50s. It really took off. That was called the middle class. There was never a middle class before then. And then as you got into the 60s, there was the upper middle class. So people in the middle class that, maybe they were a plumber, but they owned four plumbing companies or 20 people. Well, they started making a lot of money. So that's the upper middle class. And then there were the people at the top of the pile, which are still here today, that make millions and millions and millions and millions. So what happened? 1973, we got off the gold standard. Gold went from $35 an ounce. In 1980, it was $800 an ounce. And then we went into the 80s. What happened? The technology boom. And then we took off again. But what went with it? Inflation. They squashed inflation somewhat in the 80s, but it was still there. It started creeping along. Then the 90s, then we get the dot-com bubble in 2000. That crashes. Then in 2008, what happened is we had they can call it a recession, whatever they want to call it. But what they should have done is made money more expensive. So you want to borrow it, it costs more to borrow it. So what that basically means is a higher interest rate, because a mortgage in the 1980s to slow down inflation was like 17%. But they didn't do that. They went the opposite direction. So from 2008, 9, 10 till today, inflation has gone insane.